You already know who is this. I am Carlos, the Colombian guy. Welcome to my YouTube channel once again. What's good, guys? Welcome to another episode of my YouTube channel. Y'all know beside the updates, beside the news, I also like to bring topics that I can get my humble opinion about. And in this case, I'm gonna speak about which city is better to be seen in 2025 in Colombia between Cartagena and Medellin. Let's speak about this. Let's jump in the video. One of the reasons why I decided to make this video is because all the time I got this question a lot of where should I go? Should I visit Medellin first? Should I visit Cartagena? Which one is better between Cartagena and Medellin? And today I'm going to give my humble opinion about both cities because I live in one and I've been to the other one plenty of times. So I think that I can speak, about both cities from the point of view that I have, from the perspective that I have from both cities, fellas. I just came back from Medellin, Colombia, like a week and a half ago, and it's a city that I love, like I've been expressing in a lot of my videos. It's a lot to do over there, a lot to check out. I love the weather over there. I love the people. I love the food. I love the culture over there. Even, some people don't like the culture over there, don't like the people. But to me, the people in Medellin, they've been really great. They've been very polite with me. And if you guys didn't know, Medellin is one of the cities with the most polite people in the country. You probably didn't realize that because you don't speak Spanish. But the way how they treat some people, because I'm not saying, everybody in the Mama in Medellin, they're good. But the way how they treat some people, they treat tourists. They are, like very, very, very polite. But hey, both cities, they are very different from each other. One is located in all the area in Colombia. Cartagena is located in the Caribbean of Colombia, the Caribbean coast of Colombia. Medellin, close to is the interior. So they both, like I said, they very different. But I think, Medellin is my second favorite city in Colombia. And like I say, it has a lot to offer over there. Medellin is a city that, if you're thinking in coming in Colombia, it's a city that you should really check out because there is a lot of history over there, that you should know. And there is a lot to do. Like I say, it's a city that has a lot to offer. And, it's a city of a lot of mountains. If you like the big cities, Medellin should be an awesome and an amazing destination for you because, like I said, it's a big city, and I feel like in Medellin is a lot going on because, of course, it's a big city, bigger than Cartagena. In Cartagena, you have like 1 million people. In Medellin, you have over like 4 to 5 million people. So it's a lot of difference, in the population of each city. But Medellin, is brand new in tourism. Even it's really popular right now. But if you talk about, if I talk about 10 years ago, Medellin won't have the same amount of tourism that they had going on over there now, which is great. Medellin is one of the most successful cities in the country. And if the city is doing great, if a successful city is doing great, it benefits, the other cities in the country and the economy in the country from one way of other. So, like I say, since you're going over there, since you step out in Medellin at the airport of Medellin, when I went to Medellin, I felt like I have, the real experience of a Colombian city. I'm not saying that, Cartagena is not a city in Colombia because, of course, it's a city, very popular. It's the city that I grew up, that I live in, city that I love. But in Medellin, I felt like, because that was like the first city that I went in when I flew from Cartagena, and I felt like, I was seeing the houses, all of that was like, that's kind of like one of the real perspective and, real way, in a different way, how I can see Medellin, because when the news, they will tell you all kind of things. So, don't go over there, all of that. And, it's different when you step out, you walk out by yourself and you experience the city by yourself. That's, the reason why I'm sitting here, speaking about my experience over there. even like I say, it's a brand new in tourism. They've been growing up fast. They have a lot of tours to offer over there, community thing, like Guatape and a lot of other tours. Like I say, the Paisa culture, they really like business. They really like business. They really like to growing up. A small example is in Cartagena. Majority of people that own the stores, the grocery store, the clothes stores, majority of them, they're from Medellin. They Paisa owners. So like I say, like even like they haven't been a tourism destination for a while. They really been doing great over there. Like I said, Medellin is a city that anybody can fall in love if you really like, if you don't like the weather of Cartagena, if you don't like the heat from here, so Medellin should be a good destination for you, because like I say, it's that Medellin. Like I say, I can't still believe how crazy is the nightlife in Medellin, Colombia. You see all kind of things, good and bad things. You see all kind of clubs, good and good clubs, because I like to party. So for me, majority of the clubs, they're good. Some of them have better reputation than others, but majority of the clubs, they're good and they are awesome. So if you're thinking in going over there, just go ahead and go. But in my opinion, like Medellin is like fast city, rough city. So you gotta be ready for it. Like I say, if you don't have the common sense, if you don't have, you don't have to even like be like a gangster or something. At least you only need to use your common sense, learn how to move around, and you're gonna have a great and amazing time in Medellin, Colombia, because like I say, the area that we were staying in, it was just a lot going on. It was restaurant, clubs, all of that. We were just close with Jurassic Park, all of that. And, we did have a great time. So I think, like, honestly, I can say which one is better. My thing is like, you should ask yourself what I'm looking for. What's the experience that I want to have, in Colombia? Do I want to see beaches, like go to the island, all of that? Cartagena should be the spot for you, but if you can't tolerate the heat, because Cartagena is one of the hottest places in the country. So if you come here, you gotta put that in your mind that Cartagena is a hot place, and you gotta be ready for that. Otherwise, Medellin should be the option for you. So, long story short, I felt like, it's a city that I really recommend to people. Like, hey, if you've never been there, you should go ahead, an experience, for yourself, because I can tell how your experience is gonna be. And also, the culture over there. One thing that I really like about the people in Medellin is like I told the people in Cartagena they were just very laid back people, like they were like they just chilling out or something, but ain't like that. Medellin, the people, like, they, as a tourist, I'm speaking from the point of view as a tourist, that you can be like walking around and people like they wouldn't just going to you. I put a lot of pressure on you, like trying to offer you things and stuff like that, unless you are like in the night time, that you are the Jurassic Park, the commissioner agents that we chase you, trying to offer you things. So that's one thing that I really respect over there. People like you, to take your time. They just minded the business, and they just allow you, to be like walk around, do what you gotta do, stuff like that. Well, the good things, what I mean. So hey, Medellin, like I say, it's a nice and awesome destination. Some people don't like it, and I respect that, because some of them, they probably had an ugly experience over there. But it doesn't mean like it's not a nice city. Medellin is a really good and amazing city. And like I say, it's a city that I always recommend, even like with the crazy cases of guys, getting bad times in Medellin, it doesn't like take off, like the good city that they have over there. Like I say, for the locals, probably, it's something new, something very new. Like they didn't used to see a lot of foreigners going over there, especially in this case of foreign American nationality. But now in Medellin, you find tourism from everywhere. You find tourists, from America, Spain, Mexico, Peru, from anywhere. You see like people in Medellin right now, fellas. So let's move on now to Cartagena, Colombia, which is my city, the city that I grew up, the city that I'm in love with. This the best city in Colombia, from my opinion. Don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to say it's better than Medellin, it's better than this. But hey, like one of my clients say to me, I can't go to Colombia without doing both, without doing 3 days in Cartagena, 3 days in Medellin. And this is a thing that I really recommend to people that can have it and they can do that, because I understand if you can't, you can afford that, because not all the brothers that come to the city, not all the people that come to the city and the country, they rich. A lot of them, they've been saving, they've been working hard for that, so I respect that, you know what I mean? But Cartagena, is a city that has everything that you need. Cartagena have, like a lot of restaurant, a lot of history, a lot of stuff to do, a lot of, like tourist place you check out. It's just a beautiful and an awesome city that it will never end to surprise you about how many great things Cartagena has. But like I say, Cartagena, like, not everybody in the mama, they like Cartagena because, either the vendors, I know the vendors, they can be like really persistent, they can chase you, especially, the one from everywhere. I mean, majority of the vendors in the city of Cartagena, but the one that I seen that they are super, super, super persistent are the one on the beach. They don't play game. They be chase you from the beach to your hotel. They will take a motorcycle and chase your car, chase you Uber, all of that. So, I'm joking, but, that's a reality. So like I said, Cartagena has history. If you like the history of especially, Afro-Colombians and black people, Cartagena is a really nice and beautiful place to check out, because this city, majority of this city, back then, and even now it's been built by black people. So, the black people and the population in Cartagena is like a lot of black people here. So we have, if you really want to see, like, if you want to get familiar with the culture, you want to see a lot of black people, Cartagena is one of the spots to check out, because there is other spot in Colombia that you can see even more black people, way more black people than Cartagena and Palenque, which is close to Cartagena. But, some of these places, they are not ready yet for tourism. I'm not saying that as a tourist, you can't go over there, that you can't check that out. But, they don't have the safety that Cartagena has, you know what I mean? And even like crazy things sometimes happen here. And a lot of people compare, also Cartagena to Medellin in terms of safety. But how you can compare, a city that is only like million people to a city which is 5 million people, is way different. At some point they don't have police, to be taking care of everybody at the mama. At some point, I'm not saying at some point, majority of the time you should keep an eye on yourself, because otherwise, who else is going to do that? So like I said, Cartagena offer you almost everything, offer you heat, nice beaches to check it out, nice history, nice restaurants, a lot of, nice and beautiful women, because that's the reason why a lot of brothers, a lot of people, they come to Colombia. That's not a secret. And I don't try to, promote women's none of that, but nobody can fight with the reality. And the reality is that one. The market in Colombia now, it just, a lot of tourists, they come to here just to be focused on the worst, which just ain't bad. You know what I mean? They can do with the life whatever they want. But like I say, and majority, like Cartagena is a small city. Everything is just right there. Majority of the tourist places, they're just right there to each other. Yosemite, the old city, Boca Grande. Majority of those places, like they just like over distance. If you want to walk, you can. I recommend people to do that just on the daytime, not too late in the night, because maybe you can do donations even in the tourist area. You know what I mean? Because I'm not saying, all bad things don't happen in Cartagena. Bad things can happen anywhere. But like I said, between both, I would choose no one, because they both different. They both different. If you learn how to like move around in both of them, that will give you you will have a great and amazing time. You know what I mean? Like I say, it's some terms, of what you like. If you like beaches, and you can tolerate the heat, you love the heat, Cartagena is the spot to go. There is a lot of people that live in a lot of American cities that it gets super cold over there, so Cartagena could be the spot for you. And if you like the heat, because sometimes, people like they live in cold cities, but when they come to Colombia, they don't like the heat. So if you don't like the heat, Cartagena won't be the spot for you. Well, it depends on the times that you come to the city. But I mean, it don't make a sense go to a city that is sunny in a rainy season, because it mess up everything. So you should stay at home if you like coming to the sunny cities in a rainy season. So, like I say, I live in Cartagena and I love my city. It's a beautiful city. I mean, everything is just right there. And like even the airport is just right there. It's just like inside of the city. They talking about, moving the airport to a small little town, but everything is just right there. Just take over, motorcycle, local app, and drive it, all of that. But like I say, they're both different cities. So my advice, if you ever had the opportunity to visit both in one trip, go ahead. You might fall in love with one of those, or maybe both. But they both are different scenarios. So on me, myself, I can tell you, oh, this one is better than the other one because of this, because of that, I mean, it's like I say, it's in terms of what you like it, or what are you expecting for the cities to give you. Because, like Medellin is bigger than Cartagena, but maybe you can have a better time in Cartagena than Medellin. So like I say, it's about what you're expecting. And it also depends on you, because a lot of people, no matter where they go, they would just ruin their vacation from the south. You know what I mean? So 2025, I would recommend to do both if you can, or maybe, do both in 1 year, experience by yourself, because nobody can tell you how the time that you're going to have in Cartagena, how you're going to be the experience in Cartagena, or how it's going to be the experience in Medellin. I've been to Medellin, I have a great time. And there is a lot of people that been over there and they didn't like it. They never had a great time. They were just disappointed with the city. Same thing as Cartagena. There's a lot of people that been down here. They don't like it. They don't want to go back. They feel like their vacation turned into a nightmare. So like I say, it's on you. It's on you about where you want to go. About the girls, like they have beautiful girls in both cities. A lot of the girls, like they are at Gerrard's Park. They just kind of like they fly back and forth into the tower, into Gerrard's Park. You have cities. I've been seeing girls in this is a crazy thing. I saw a girl at Gerrard's Park when my class and I went to Medellin. I saw her over there the first night that we get out and walk around. And a small little word, I saw the same girl, because my clients, we did Cartagena, Medellin. So when we get back from there, I saw the same girl that I saw in Gerrard's Park with one of my clients. So I was like, okay, these girls, like, they don't have a city where they belong. They go both cities, they've been flying back and forth. Majority of them, some of them, they just going, they've been everywhere. And like I say, in terms of that, which city, I don't know which city can give you the best experience if you don't go and experience this by yourself, fellas. I hope you guys like my video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I was trying to make this video short, but it went long because I was trying to, explain about, factors of both cities. So like I said, I hope you guys like this. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. Thanks for everything. If you ever coming to Cartagena, Colombia, or to Medellin, let me know, because I had networks in both cities. I already have my agency for tours in Cartagena, Colombia. If you need like transportation, boats, ATVs, tours, Palenque, Mubucano, all of that, hit me up. In Medellin, the same thing. Everything you need, mostly like transportation, tours, I got you. Like, let me know. Hit me up. I'm going to leave the description of my video, my website. You can message me. And, if you want, book a consultation, you can do that too. Anything you need, just let me know. Also, I'm gonna drop my PayPal information. If you wanna send like a donation, go ahead, but don't say the Colombian guy is begging for money. See you soon, guys, on the next video.